guys, well, welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be an update on my experience with Smile Direct Club. It's been 2 years now since I posted my last video, so today's video is just kind of a follow-up where I am now 2 years later, and so we're just gonna jump right in. I think the most probably popular question is, how often do you have to wear your retainers? So I'm still using the same retainers that they gave me at the end of my treatment, and technically I think you were only supposed to use those for a year and then you're supposed to continuously purchase new ones. But so anyway, so for my retainers, I would say that up until recently I was probably only wearing them maybe once a week. Recently I've started trying to wear them pretty frequently, and that all stemmed from I kept pushing it longer and longer as to how long in between wears I would make it. I would have to work back into it, and of course you put those back in, they're super painful, and then you have to kind of get your teeth back because they would shift 100%. Really, in my mind, a good amount of times is probably 3 times a week I would wear them, even though I know you're supposed to wear them every night, but who does that? I think that kind of takes me into my next point, which is how much have my teeth, if any, have they changed since I last finished 2 years ago? And I think that they have, even after wearing my retainers quite frequently these past few weeks. I feel like they aren't quite getting, again, if you didn't watch my last video, my real problem was my bottom teeth. I had one tooth that was kind of getting pushed back in, and so they were getting pretty squished and unaligned on the bottom. My top teeth really weren't a concern for me. However, I did wear both top and bottom. And so what it did was basically push that one into the other one, which kind of like aligned them. And at the end, they weren't perfect by any means, but they were much better. And I can insert some photos of kind of what they looked like before and after if you didn't see my previous video. And so it definitely helped and made a difference using Smile Direct Club. But I think now, I don't think even if I would wear my retainers consistently, it still seems like they aren't kind of getting quite back to where they were, but still leaps and bounds different from whenever I initially started and looked into it. The next question isn't really a question at all, but more just of an experience that was had. So a lot of people mention about going into their stores and that it's like a much better experience than, you know, trying to do it all through the mail. So I guess I would recommend, just based on what I've seen in my comments, people are saying that it's much better to go in store. We don't have one around where I live, so that wasn't an option for me. But if you are living in a bigger city, I'm sure that there's a place around you that you can go and check out and get your teeth scanned. I know that they have some pretty cool technology to do it, but I kind of wanted to touch on a friend of mine who, again, I said in the previous video, had a relatively positive experience up to that point, and that was 2 years ago, and I believe, unfortunately, she's still kind of going back and forth with them. She wants, from what I understand, her one tooth to be kind of twisted, and it seems like they can't quite achieve what she's trying to get. She's really seeking perfection, which of course you're spending a lot of money, so why wouldn't you want perfection? So that kind of brings me to my next point, which is I would not do Smile Direct Club if you are seeking perfection, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. You know, you're spending a lot of money on, you know, these aligners. Of course you should get the smile that you want, but I just think you have to go in with realistic expectations. You aren't going to see you aren't going in to see an orthodontist, even though I know they say that, you know, professionals are looking over your charts or your molds and everything, but it's not like going into an office or of an orthodontist and getting your teeth checked out every single time. It's a much different experience. And so if you are somebody that wants perfection, wants your teeth exactly perfect, honestly, I wouldn't do it. I would go another route. I know myself, and so whenever I got into even thinking about Smile Direct Club, I think I knew that I wasn't going to get my teeth exactly perfect. It wasn't going to be like whenever I got done with braces and my teeth were perfectly aligned. Just knowing that my results were going to be much better than what I had, and I was happy with that for the money that I paid. But again, if you are the type of person that you know, you're putting down this money, it's a lot of money, and you want perfection, just wait, keep that money, save up a little bit more, and go see a professional where you can really like talk about what your expectations are and what your results will be. I also want to address something else, which is that people said that I was crazy saying that at the end I would still do it, even though it seemed throughout the video that I was kind of giving a lot of negatives. I think that relates back to my previous statement, which is that I went into it knowing that it wasn't going to be perfect. My smile, you know, was already pretty good. Again, I'd had braces whenever I was younger. It was just my teeth. Whenever I was finished having my braces, a molar was still coming in, and so that forced my teeth to crunch together in the middle, creating not enough space, so one kind of had to go. And so that was my, you know, one tooth, and that kind of got pushed back. And so I don't know how the science behind Smile Direct Club works, but it pushed that one tooth forward. And I can show you guys an update on kind of the situation that it is in now. It still is a little bit pushed back, but again, nowhere near to the extent of what it was. And so I think that's kind of what this all boils down to in the end is, would I do it again? You know, would I pay the money? Would I, you know, go through the customer service experience that I had, which was pretty poor? And based on knowing what I know now, what my results have been up to this point, and in my personal opinion and based on my experience, it would, because to me it was worth it. I didn't have the money and I didn't want to wait to go a different route, and so for me this just made sense at the time. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any more questions, I would be happy to help in any way that I can. I try to answer as many people's from the previous video, and you can go check that one out as well. I think that it has some good information, stuff that I would have wanted to know, and you know, it's not a super long video, so it won't take up much of your time. If you like this video, you can always subscribe and give it a thumbs up. It really helps. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so that would be great. And let me know what else you guys want to see. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.